Hey there, Michelle. What's shaking? How's it going?
Hey, Lindsay, everything is good over here. How about you?
I'm good, Michelle. But do you ever do you like to invite friends over to entertain them, just to hang out?
Yeah, actually, recently, I've been very excited because Dan has invited some friends over, and I think it's very nice because in like before we moved, most of his friends were just my friends' husbands, and actually these ones are too. But he's developed his own
Good.
unique and friendships with them, and they do it's not only if I'm there,
That's
and
good.
so
Yeah.
he had them over, and it's very nice. So but I like to have people over. What about you?
Yeah, I do. But do you ever worry they might stay too long, or does that ever happen to you? That they overstay their welcome?
Not see, I'm always happy to have people stay as long as possible. The only thing is getting my kids to sleep. So like, for
Okay.
example, my friend Ian, who is some of you may have recognized from some of our courses.
Oh, yeah.
We do music together, and so he comes over, and my kids love him. He and his wife, we're all very close. But sometimes then it becomes harder to get them to sleep, and so
Yeah.
it's not so much the like I like having people there. It's sometimes just hard for or figuring it out with getting my kids to sleep.
Yeah, for sure. I think Ian, by the way, was in our B2 fluency
Right.
course. So guys, if you haven't seen the B2 fluency course, if you are at that level, check it out. Go to allearsenglish.com/B2. You interviewed Ian about his traveling lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And we brought that into learning some language. Really cool. But I mean, sure, even if you don't have kids to get to bed, surely there is a
moment
certain
when you're
time
tired. Yes.
at which it's time to go to bed, whether it's 1 a.m., whether it's 10 p.m., 1 a.m., they need to leave at some point. And in American culture, it is a faux pas, probably more so than other cultures, I'm going to say that, to overstay your welcome. This is a big thing, I think. I mean, if you're really close to someone, then this wouldn't be an issue. You just would blatantly tell them, you got to go home. Look, you
Right.
gotta go. Right.
Right.
But we're talking about people that maybe we're not quite as close to, and it's still like maybe there's still a bit of self-consciousness there. So how do we deliver that message that it's time to go? I mean, Michelle, have you ever broken this unwritten rule yourself? Have you ever committed a faux pas where you overstayed your welcome?
Oh, I'm sure I have. Sometimes it's hard to tell. You're having a good time, and I've definitely been in that position where I'm like looking at Dan, and I'm like, well, maybe we should get going soon, right? And you're kind of trying to hear what the other people's reactions. Do they actually want you to go? Are they, are they? So,
oh God. And I do think it's something that's especially strict in American culture in a way, because we have a value towards privacy, and I think that's what ties it into this of like, I need my space. I need my privacy in a way after a certain time, after I feel a certain way. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a thing.
Right. And it depends how tired I am too. And I shower at night. So, somebody leaves, I still have to take a shower. I still have, it's a whole, the whole
routine.
Yes. The whole routine, the
I will
whole
say that
song and dance.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit, I think I've admitted this on the show before, so I'm not afraid to admit it again. I have committed this faux pas before it happened, when we were invited over just after COVID, when everyone was coming out of their homes. We were invited over to some friends. They're not good friends, but they're new friends, and we get along with them. We enjoy. So we're somewhere in between, right? In between acquaintances and like best friends. We're definitely not best friends. They invited us over to hang out by their campfire outside in their backyard. And all of a sudden, I guess we've been there a while. We've been having some drinks. All of a sudden we see the husband, Sam, start to like stretch and say, start to yawn, I'm going to bed. And that's where we're like, oh my gosh, we committed the ultimate faux pas. We've lost our social norms in COVID, right? We blamed COVID for it.
Did you say something? Were you like, I'm sorry, I can tell?
I think the worst part is we didn't even acknowledge that we had made that mistake.
Funny.
If we had said, we lost our minds in COVID or something, we should have done that. So this is just showing our listeners an example of how important it is when you are on the side of the guy, his name is Sam, if instead of putting your hands in the air and making a yawning sound. What can you do,
Right.
to subtly get people
well,
to go
and now I'm wondering, Lindsay, did it go back and while you were adjusting to being out of COVID, did you go back in the other direction after the experience? Did you start leaving too soon? Did you get too
yeah,
like,
I
hello,
really
all right.
I tightened up my manners for sure.
And they were like, where are you going? You just got here.
Like hour in, you're like, okay, I better get going because
Then you overcorrected maybe. No. So today we're going to talk about some common expressions that are used to talk about something being over in a way that has more personality than just saying, okay, we're finished, right? And this is a fun episode. This is these are a lot of fun expressions. So guys, remember to hit follow wherever you listen to the All Ears English podcast. Don't miss anything from us.
Yeah, it's a fun episode, but it's also very culturally relevant, right? It's culturally important. I mean, I don't want to underplay the cultural piece. If you are coming from another culture that maybe is a little bit more loose in terms of this, or it's not a problem. Aubrey and I did an episode. The title was something about fishing company. This idea where it's more in the context of how long you're staying at someone's house in a guest situation. Like you're staying at their house, you're sleeping at their house. That's a slightly different thing, but it's coming back to the same theme of don't overstay your welcome. Right.
And also, these aren't just for overstaying your welcome. These can be for when just anything needs to be over. It's time to finish with something. So it can be used, but these can be used for many different situations. But definitely, these are great for instead of yawning and looking around the room
and hoping that someone picks up on your yawning. Right. All right. So what would be the first one? Let's go for it.
All right. So these are fun. So the first one is either party's over or the party's over.
Yeah.
So this can be used. I mean, you wouldn't. This is direct, right? If you're using it in that kind of context, you wouldn't say that to some, just new friends that it's their first time. You might scare them away.
Yeah, you really have to be careful. Right, exactly. It's really delicate around how well do you know the person that you're saying this to, right? It doesn't have to be for a best friend, but it's definitely not for a first-time visitor because it's showing a little bit of snarkiness, kind of, right? A little bit, right?
Oh, yeah, it's very snarky. Yeah, it's fun, though. But it's good, especially for people you know well. So, for example, all right, everyone, party's over. I'm tired. Right.
Exactly. Or party's over. We really have to get going. Right?
So maybe you're actually on your way out somewhere. Or I hate to say this, but I think the party's over. I'm going to start looking for a new job. So that's a different context. That's like, you're not actually talking about a party, but you're saying, okay, I'm not enjoying my job anymore. Party's over. And I'm looking for a new one. Yeah.
And I'm actually glad you added that example, Michelle, because I was thinking something along those lines too. Like, let's say we have an economy in a booming state. Right. And then all of a sudden things start to look down, like downturns. There's some bad signals, party's over. Maybe I need to get out of stocks or something. Right. It's like it's phases, it's time periods that are doing well. Things are going well. Right. So it's not just about that moment when you want everyone to leave your home or you need to leave a place with a group. It could also be about life stages and moments of booms or busts, that sort of thing.
Yeah, right? So it's useful for so many different things. The next one is similar. It's just fun's over. Fun is over. Fun's over. This, might be a tad more serious than party's over, but maybe very similar. So for this one, let's imagine maybe we're out to lunch with friends and it's time for you to go back to your office. So, okay, friends, sorry, fun's over. I got to head back to work.
Yep. Totally good to say. Native and natural, or shoes on, everyone. Fun's over. We have to get to Wyatt's band recital. Right. And this might be something you also say to your kids, too. Like if you have teenagers and you're trying to kind of corral them, right? Yeah. Outside of the house, get them out of the house. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you could definitely say this also to just, to your very close guests. All right, guys, fun's over. I have to wake up at 4. Right.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So basically, Michelle, these are lighthearted, right? Would you say that you would use these in more formal situations? What are your thoughts on that?
I do not think so. I think these are, these are snarky. These are funny. I would use them when you're with your family, with your friends. But I wouldn't, or to just make a commentary in a situation like about, your job or booms and busts, as Lindsay was saying.
Yeah. Just be careful who you're around, right? So if you attend an important high level meeting at your company and your company presents some pretty bad data on their performance, right? The company's not doing well. Things are down, down. All these revenue streams are down. That's not really the time to jump in there and say, well, party's over. Right?
Yeah, no, it's not showing optimism at all there. And that's going to bring everyone down. So be careful with that.
I think using these more in social context, personal life, people acquaintances, maybe not someone that you just met, because again, they're a little snarky, I don't want to say pushy, but they're a little confident, right?
Yeah, they're confident. That's true.
Yeah. All right. So we do have another one, which you love, Michelle. Tell us about this.
I love this because it makes me think of my dad. So it's everybody out of the pool. So Lindsay, did your dad say this growing up?
He didn't, but I would imagine he could have said this for sure. This is a total dad thing to say.
Oh my gosh. So I actually had to look this up because I wasn't sure if it was just something my dad said. Yeah. But no, it's a real thing. So everybody out of the pool. Is it about a real pool, Lindsay?
No, it's not about a real pool, right? It's about people are probably enjoying something and you're saying you got to leave. Like maybe the adult version of this is you're at a casino or something and people are having fun playing cards, right? We got to go have dinner. Everybody out of the pool. Come on.
Right. Everybody out of the pool. Yeah. So you don't have to be in a pool to use it. I guess suppose you could, but it could also just be used for calming something down. Like, where, it's a little too loud in here. Everybody out of the pool. Right? We got to keep it quiet. Right.
Okay.
But so here's an example. All right. Everybody out of the pool. Checkout is in 5 minutes.
Nice. Or everybody out of the pool. We have to get our seats. So maybe that means you're like at a wedding or something and you got to go from the dance floor over to sit down at dinner.
Yeah, could be, or maybe you're at a conference and it's kind of the, the mingling time and you're having a really good time chatting with your coworkers. And then you look at the time and realize that maybe a speech is about to start.
Interesting. Sure. Time to calm down, get organized, right? Or you could say, okay, guys, everybody out of the pool. We have to get our dinner reservation. We have to get to our dinner reservation, meaning go to the place the restaurant.
So I love that one. And then the last one for today is show's over.
This one's fun. This one can be used in like a bad situation or a good situation. I've seen this used in the movies. Our listeners probably have too. It's just saying something's done. It's usually like some kind of public display. Yeah. Right?
Yes. Right. This makes me think of the movies. I was trying to think of a specific movie. Like I'm imagining maybe Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, or somebody.
Oh my God. I was thinking Adam Sandler, Michelle.
Right?
What's going on with us?
Today we are just on it. We are on the same wavelength. Yeah. Like some sort of public situation. Maybe somebody got like overly upset in public and everybody was looking. You know what I mean? Those situations where it's like, and then you look around and everybody's watching you.
Yes.
So you might hear them say something like, all right, everyone, show's over. Nothing to see here.
Yep, exactly. Or come on, show's over. Let's pay attention to what we were working on. So it could be when there's some kind of scene and it's not really good. Someone has lost it. Right. And they've just I'm imagining Adam Sandler on a golf course for some reason throwing
Happy Gilmore.
Maybe something like that. Right.
Right.
And jumping into a lake or something. Right. And everyone's watching. But it also could be, again, in the more straightforward way, you just want people to go home. Right. Would you use that in the same way of like everybody out of the pool, like it's time to go home, the party's over?
I think this is slightly different, but I do think like, okay, let's say there is some sort of display or like, or let's say, okay, I'm imagining your kids' friends are over, And they're like teenagers, and one of them is like, you know, they're having a little sing along, you know. I mean, I was friends with all the theater kids, and we would come and sing, and I could imagine somebody saying, all right, show's over. Right.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's in the more positive way. It hasn't necessarily been a negative scene.
Right. That's an interesting one. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite here? Is it everybody out of the pool? Is it your favorite?
Of course. Everybody out of the pool. Yeah. What about you? Anything you like?
I like that one. Well, I want to start using that now because I actually hadn't heard of it before, but I like it. I like Parties Over, actually. I think that one's fun. It's kind of light, and I like that it can be applied to life situations, like talking about the economy, talking about a job situation. That's kind of interesting to me. Yeah. So
definitely. Yeah. All right. These are just, they have so much personality. So let's do a role play. We're not going to use all of them, but we'll use some. All right. Here we, in this role play, we have lunch plans, but you are distracted by a TV show that you're watching.
All right, here we go.
All right. Come on, Lindsay, let's go.
Sorry, it's almost over.
Okay, come on. Party's over. We're going to miss our reservation.
But there's 5 more minutes.
All right, everybody out of the pool. You have 2 minutes. You will love this place.
Oh, fine. Let's go.
Okay. And I imagine everybody out of the pool, you're usually trying to, in some physical way, like, all right, like, you're clapping or
using your body in some way to just
to
bring people, for sure. So here we said, I'm watching TV, you're ready to go to the restaurant, right? And then you say, okay, come on, party's over. We're going to miss our reservation, right? So you're trying to pull me away from what I'm doing.
And then you said, but there's 5 more minutes. And so I realize I need to use another line. So I start clapping and I go, everybody out of the pool.
Yeah. Nice. Love it. Yeah. So again, I feel like today's phrases are just there's tons of personality here, right? We're covering the cultural norm of don't overstay your welcome in American culture, right? And when does it matter? When does it not? Depending on how well you know the people. And then also talking about the end of certain kinds of good moments in life, like a boom or, I don't know, a good job or something, right? So you've had it easy up until now, and that's ending. Really interesting.
Yeah, these are really fun. So, guys, head on over. We did All Ears English. It was listen to this episode, would ya?
And I think the takeaway here for connection is anytime we're expressing our personality and we're having a little fun, we're connecting. And it can be a harsh thing to say, could you please go home? Right?
Yeah, right.
Right. That's what we're trying to avoid here. Instead, hey, party's over. I'm going to, party's over. We'll see you guys next time. Right.
Right.
That is... These are like indirect ways to say what you want to say, but you can't say directly, right?
Yeah, I have another idea for another thing, but we'll do it another time. Like another thing you could
got
say.
An episode idea, guys. Hit the follow button because Michelle's got ideas. We love it. Lots of good episodes coming up in the near future, so make sure you are following All Ears English. All right,
guys. All right, Lindsay. Party's over. Talk to you later.
Party's over. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.